Yes, guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast. We are back with another show review. This is the PCA Southwest in Swindon. Reese actually went to the show because he had a last minute client, which we'll come on to. First of all, thank you for all the positive feedback that we've been having because a lot of people have been saying that they've been enjoying these. Go on, mate.
Nicola A1 Tanning came up
Oh,
to me.
was she there?
Love the show reviews. No,
Yeah.
no, no. She was there at Progress Works on Friday. She was like, I love the
Okay.
show reviews.
Yeah. I
So
had a
shout
guy
out, Nicola.
a guy came up to me in the gym yesterday who was saying like, "Oh, mate, I'm loving what you're doing with all the reviews and the podcast." So thank you
Mm.
for the nice words. Ultimately, like,
However,
yeah, however, we want to say we do apologize if anybody is unhappy with any of the reviews that we're giving. Ultimately, like we are trying to come at this from like an educational standpoint where we're just trying to sort of almost come at this as a news show, basically, go through what happened at the show. We're not trying to come across with any kind of personal bias. Even if we have clients competing, like we'll be very honest about how that client looked or what we think they can improve upon. Ultimately, if anybody doesn't want to be on the podcast, like if you don't want to be featuring at all on the podcast, please just let us know. But we're only
yeah.
going to use content that is actually given to us, if you like, or at least on social media. Like we're not using our own photos or anything like that without consent. It is on social media. So
That's literally posted by a public page that has
yeah,
over 100,000
exactly.
followers.
We're not going on to any private pages or anything like that. We're using public content on Instagram. If anybody doesn't want to feature on the podcast, that's absolutely fine. Please just let us know. We're trying to come at this from a objective standpoint as much as we possibly can, but bodybuilding is subjective. It is an opinionated sport. Yes, there is criteria, and you are judged against that criteria, but also you are being judged on your physique. So we are ultimately going to try and educate people on why somebody maybe won, why somebody maybe didn't. But it's just a news show. We're literally coming out to people like coming at the
And we
audience.
wish to mention for transparency, the reason why we have mentioned this is because it's been brought to our attention that some people or some groups of people aren't too happy with some of the stuff we've been saying, which they've got their opinion about what we say, and we've got our opinion about what we say about shows. And me and Finn have had a bit of a chat, and we both said, like, we're not going to change how we are. We're not going to be overly positive or change our tone. We've always been honest, and that's the way we're going to be. So if you don't like it, please get in contact with us, speak to us. However, the show goes on, or the show reviews go
Yeah.
on.
And also like we're not doing this in the sense of trying to judge the show and say
Mm.
that, oh, this should have happened. Like we've not done that once. Like
Yeah,
we're literally just saying this is what happened, this is
yeah,
what we think. And it's actually just to try and give the athletes a platform where
yeah,
we can be like, oh, look at this person. They look really good. Like, or,
yeah.
go and follow their page. And ultimately, it's like free advertising. We've always said, like, especially with the PCA, like we've even on the tier list of the federations, we said that PCA is a good federation and we stand
Yeah.
by that. So that's basically that. That's the disclaimer out of the way. We'll probably at the start of each of these review
A
shows
mini version of that.
a
Yeah,
mini version of that, which is like ultimately, if anybody's unhappy with anything we say, please contact us. And if you don't want to feature on the podcast, please let us know. Yeah, because we're not trying to offend or like steer anybody away from a federation or towards another federation or anything like that. We don't have any bias towards any federation
until we create our own federation, and
apart from the
then
WMBF.
yeah, yeah, or the WM.
We don't have any bias towards any federation or against any federation.
Yeah,
Right. So
into it.
let's go, mate. Talk us through
Yeah.
what happened because you were there.
Well, I was there for the morning. First classes went pretty quick. They actually switched the order around slightly. They went on the the like the script of when it says like what shows well what classes it should run. Novice bodybuilding should have been so James, my client, or client for a week. It was basically a case where he was supposed to be fourth class on, and they actually did classic before because I don't think there was classic short. There was only classic tall, which is quite funny because I don't know, there might have been actually, but there was only like five dudes in classic. But overall, if I was to give my synopsis of what I saw, I actually was more impressed with the standard at this show. It was quiet. There wasn't many people in the juniors. There was only one guy that turned up. That's a teen that's actually going to be doing. I've seen he was. Is it Aaron Aesthetics client? I'm pretty sure if I'm not mistaken. He's going to be doing teens at WMBF, which is quite cool. So he's going to be up against Jacob, so my client, and then obviously Conran for you, Finn. And he looked really good. Like I was happy with how he looked. Like for a natty 19-year-old, looked really good. Detail through the lower body was great. Like posing was solid. And I think this was his first stage outing. I don't know. I'm not too sure. But either way, like I thought he looked really good.
Did he
So
jump in
it was
another class? Because I
no, no, no.
saw Aaron posted something, but there was
Yeah,
his client was posing with other people, I'm sure.
that would have been the overall. Because obviously he would have
Okay.
got into
I
he won
didn't look properly.
yeah, he won the class by default, but the first few classes like went really, really fast. Like there wasn't that many people on, which again is a bit of a shame. Like, but he hopped into a show early.
Yeah,
It's
so
not
the
his
other
main show,
classes
but
you've got mixed disability,
yeah.
first time as
Oh,
bodybuilder.
men's
This
first
guy was
time.
big.
Yeah, yeah, he was big. Could have been a fair bit sharper, but he had a lot of muscle like through the upper body. Really, really, really big. Hit like a weird most muscular. And like literally was like it was the weirdest most muscular I've ever seen. Where he like took a step
Were
back
there other
and then was like.
people? Were there other people in this class?
No, he was on his own.
Okay.
So yeah, and like to be fair, this is again like it's funny. I don't know. We'll bring up the comments. Like those comments, you see the comments on that post, the last post where it was like 87 likes. We're not even dieting for contests anymore.
Yeah.
That stuff like that's a bit harsh because he could have
Yeah.
been shot.
That's
Could
harsher
have been
than anything we've ever said
yeah,
on the
that's
podcast.
harsher than anything we've ever said.
We're
And
trying to
that's a
give
public
like
comment. That's a
again
public comment. Like
constructive
it's
criticism, if
obvious.
anything.
Yeah, it's obvious he needs to be leaner. But he's a first timer. Like he's got a lot
Yeah.
of muscle. So yeah, one of those sort of things where like in a class with people that were actually in better shape, he wouldn't have won, but he was on his own. And like with that much muscle, he just needs to get sharper and he'll
I
be fine.
thought
Uh,
the classic standard looked good.
yeah, these are the two dudes. So there was Anthony who was pretty good. And then there was the guy that won that was a worse
Darren.
bodybuilder than him. Yeah, he was a worse bodybuilder than him, but he was a lot better in classic, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, he
So
looked
it was
pretty good.
like depends on what you really look for. Like I thought this guy had like like his favorite classic pose where he had like one arm above head, and then he did the Jack Eagles, one arm on hip, and then the hand up there.
Yeah.
That looked really good, and like he posed really well. He looked really good to be fair. Like I thought both classic dudes, like this was probably out of them two, quite. It was a very close battle. Like I was like,
Was it
depends on
just
which way.
two in that class?
Yeah, yeah, but they were like two like good dudes. Like when they both
Yeah.
walked out, I was like, oh, this is actually quite a good matchup because
Yeah, no, they
this
look
guy
good.
had better shape. He was in better condition, especially through like the lower back, but he was smaller and like especially like through the lower body, he looked in worse condition because he was smaller. Like through the glutes, for example, he didn't look as sharp, but he was
Yeah.
sharper in other areas because he was slightly smaller than this dude. But Anthony, when he got called out for second, looked quite annoyed, but I could understand why because he probably was like, I'm bigger,
He's
I'm a bit leaner,
bigger. Yeah.
but yeah, bigger or leaner in some areas, but wasn't as classic. Didn't
Again,
look
like
didn't
that's
hit
something
criteria.
that's
He just
worth
looked like a
noting.
yeah, he
Classic
just looked like a
isn't,
bodybuilder.
yeah, classic isn't just about how big or how lean you are. It's about your flow, your
Yeah,
posing, your classic structure. Like,
yeah.
I think again, so many people do just think like classic is just a smaller version of bodybuilding, but it's really not. Like
No,
you can see people that are quote unquote classic by a mile, like a mile off. We said with Leon against Joe Ballinger. Like
yeah.
Joe Ballinger's a bigger bodybuilder than Leon, but Leon's a lot more classic and he won. And like that
Did you
was the right
see?
decision.
Did you see today? Joe Ballinger got second call out.
Did he?
Like, yeah,
Is it what? It's in Sweden.
yeah. Leon got
Leon
first,
was centre stage, first call out, wasn't
stage, and then Joe was second call out or whatever. And I think again that goes to show, like, it's not just a case of like who's the best bodybuilder.
he? Yeah.
Now,
Again, that's
this class was really good. I will mention the guy that finished second. Saw his penis. Just thought I'd tell everybody that.
yeah,
He literally, mate, stripped down in front. Like I was upstairs with James, so I like snuck backstage. Well, I say snuck backstage. The guy was like, "Yeah, just go up with it. It's cool." And I went upstairs, and he put his thumb on, and literally in front of me, just saw me and just took down his shorts. And I was like, "Oh, Sam, saw your kick. Saw your dick. Cheers, mate. Thanks for
yeah.
that." So
What's he
yeah,
packing?
second place. To be fair, I didn't really assess that. I couldn't really. I did say to him, "Hey, mate, do you want to hop on the podcast? We can see your cock in
That's what we
person."
should be doing, really. We should be doing
Yeah.
penis reviews.
Yeah, but his family was there. He was happy with second place. He looked really good. The guy that won though looked class. Like he looked
Yeah, he was
fantastic.
good.
Yeah, and I will mention as well the guy that finished third. He stepped up from men's physique. So Matt, like
Yeah,
Team
his name was
Alliance or
Matt. Yeah.
something. Yeah.
This guy looks like a smaller
He,
version
he
of Wesley. Like
yeah,
even in
I
his
thought that
face a
actually.
little bit
Yeah,
from the front. Like yeah, his skin
yeah,
tone as
no, because
well.
Yeah, I do agree actually. But yeah, the guy finished third, stepped up for men's physique. That was his first like classic showing. Needs to be bigger through the lower body, definitely, and sharper from the lower body. Upper body was really good, but just didn't really have that same sort of density and pop as the guys that beat him. And then this guy looked class, like really, really good. And to be fair, it's funny you made out the Wesley comparisons. I think that's very true because he's not structurally amazing. Like from the front, he's like got quite like a wide waist, but it's a good midsection.
Yeah,
Like
he's good.
relative when it comes to
Really
it's not
good
like
condition.
yeah, it's like a nice midsection. It's like same as Wesley's. Like it's not like tapered sharp, really small waist, but it's a very nice midsection that just flows well with his physique.
And
And
he's
his
got
legs
a real
good.
good
Yeah,
chest. Like kind of because he's got a good chest and he's got a good back, like it kind of accentuates that waist, making that waist look smaller anyway.
yeah, definitely.
Really good.
So look, yeah,
That was a
look
good
really.
class.
Yeah, that was another good class. And then we move on to James's class, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So
novice.
yeah, so novice bodybuilding. James
This was
Cook actually is actually Cook, mate. It's not cookies. So
really,
shame.
who'd have thought
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, who would have thought it? Same as granite and granite. Like, who would have thought that? Ah, us. We're just playing off for like who's the most stupid when it comes to pronunciation. So
This is
Liam got
Liam
third.
who sends his
Remember
physique.
Liam?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sends his
So
physique on
he got
both the
third.
rated physiques, didn't he?
I thought if there was anybody that was going to beat James, it was going to be him. He
I
was
thought
the
this class looked close, you know, the top three.
yeah. He was the sharpest through the lower body, by quite some distance. Like his legs were by far the most detailed. I think probably what held him back was just upper body muscularity. I also think as well his back wasn't as conditioned as it could have been in comparison to the front, probably just due to muscle mass. Like he's got really good quads. So
I
when
do
you
think
don't
as well,
have,
you know what we spoke about before, like his tan
yeah,
looks a little bit patchy. I don't know whether that's a case of like potentially could have had a little
lying
bit better
down,
skincare. Yeah,
bob,
just better skincare in the
rolling,
lead up to the
rolling
show.
around. Yeah,
It
like
looks like just potentially like needed to work on his skincare routine, like exfoliation and stuff in the weeks prior. Like again, these are things that you almost
do I
don't really think about, but make a big difference, make a massive difference.
Yeah, definitely. But that being said, like the room that they were all in, I didn't actually see Liam before, but it was really fucking hot, like really, really warm.
Yeah.
So he could have been lying down
I
thinking it's
thought,
fine. Then he could have been like, let's say, PCA'd at times where like he's gone down and they've gone like it was a dark room that you were in, pumping up, and
yeah,
they would have probably thought, oh yeah, your tan's fine, and then the tan actually isn't as good as it could have been when it comes to
yeah.
potentially say how he was from his back because his front was okay, but
But
it was
then
all
everyone
patchy.
else's tan in the class looked okay, so you'd
Yeah,
expect, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I feel like sometimes when one person's tan is maybe a little bit off, it could be down to skincare,
yeah,
potentially posing fitness and sweating more, but it didn't look like it was a sweating issue. But I thought this
yeah,
guy looked pretty good. Just needed to
yeah,
be. He didn't look quite as sharp as Liam through the lower body, but
yeah.
he looked good. Again, no issue with his tan.
When they called out Liam for third, I literally said to Meg, so James's girlfriend, I was like, oh, he's won, and she was like, no, no, don't say that. I was like, no, 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 he's won. The other guy wasn't as good as James,
It was like a
and then
comparison between them. Yeah,
yeah, and then so when they called out this guy, like I was like, oh, sick, James has won, and I think James probably demonstrated like I'd say the overall like the
he
best
had the
balance.
best balance of all like
Yeah, yeah,
variables.
definitely. Like Tam looked really good. Like he was sharp enough. Like definitely through the lower body, hamstrings and glutes. I still think he could have been sharper. He knows that himself. But it was a good sort of peak. So for people, obviously, this is my client for like 5 days. I took over from Monday. And funnily enough, mate, his girlfriend again told me that she screen recorded. So this is again what happens when the podcast is used in positive ways. She screen recorded what we mentioned on the podcast, when he competed 2 weeks ago,
Yeah,
and sent it to him and was like, listen to this. And that's the reason why he got in contact with me, because it
yeah,
was a case of obviously I know him in person. And what I said, I was like, his potential is very high. Like he's got really good shape. He's got a hell of a
yeah.
lot of muscle.
He
There's
won
no
that
excuse.
class because he's got, like you say, he has the best package overall because he's the most well muscled. But if he was on, that would be like just yeah, he's won.
Like
You'd
that.
walk out and he's
And
won.
yeah, that's what we said. Literally, he shouldn't be. That shouldn't have been like his third or fourth novice show. Like obviously, novice is not without a win in PCAs.
Yeah, it shouldn't
But
be.
James is a too good bodybuilder to be
Just
stepping on stage
give
multiple
us
times
like
around.
give us an insight as to what you did. So obviously he messaged you like
And
we were speaking about it be modified on Monday, weren't we?
yeah, so he
Um
messaged me Monday, sent me everything over. nothing that he was doing flat out stupidly. Like afterwards, it wasn't like he sent me through his plan and it was stupid. It was just a
Just
case of
like ran himself into
breathing.
the ground a
Yeah,
little bit,
yeah,
hadn't he?
yeah. Literally, like I think he felt a bit sorry for himself after his last stage showing. Ate a bit, then tried to come down to no carbs. Was feeling pretty like heads all over the place as you would be, and he should have been sharper for that first show. Didn't really practice his posing enough, so his posing was letting him down. And then ran like 3 days of loading, when in reality he probably would have been better just doing 1 day of loading heavier, and then probably just wash it. He didn't really give himself too much time to wash anything off. So I did pretty much like Monday to Wednesday, like pro fats, nothing too much. We had Thursday as a heavy loading day. I think it was like 800 to 900 carb. Fats like doubled, like total calories like 5 and a bit thousand. Added in Superdrol, so that was to kind of stick things and just keep things sticking over. We then had on Friday just water manipulation day, like pretty aggressive in the morning. And luckily James, just because of the amount of tissue he holds and like he's been in the game now for a good amount of years, he doesn't really go too flat. And like he woke up Saturday, actually, he woke up Saturday morning at 1 a.m., waking up Meg saying he's so watery. And she was like, just go to fucking bed, please. And then when I saw him in person, I was like, mate, you look like really good. Like he looked class. Like before stage, I was like, you look really, really good. We went through some posing on Thursday, which I think again probably helped because it was like a few things that he could have been doing better. So
Yeah.
went through some posing in person, got him full, but only with 1 day of loading. Tried a few different things like creatine with meals to help glycogen uptake, Superdrol to keep things sticking because we're only having 1 day of loading. And then a little bit more aggressive with just water manipulation the following day. And turns out he looks a hell of a lot
Did
better.
you
I can't
use?
take all the credit. Like, what'd you say?
I was gonna say, did you use it as like diuretics? Did you use any actual diuretics, or
No,
did you just use
no,
that?
no, no. I think that. I think like no. The only time I'd ever think that an actual diuretic would be a benefit is if somebody's like truly, truly skinned, and it's
I was gonna
like
say it'd
you,
make
you
no sense at that level
yeah,
of
like
condition.
yeah, exactly. Like James is like was sharp enough to the point where I was like, right, cool, this is doable. Like my initial instinct was what I said to you on Monday. I was like, I don't think you should do the show. I said to him, if you can push back, like that's potentially a
We said,
test.
didn't we? He'd be
But
like really good in 4 to 6 weeks.
yeah, and even like if you were to kill him for 2 weeks, if he had came to me after the last show, he could have been probably even better than this, like by quite some distance. You know, with 2 weeks of just killing somebody for like 10 days.
Yeah, I think
But
if you look at, I know obviously this is one pose, but if you look at the front lat spreads of the three here, in
yeah,
terms of like fullness, probably like freshness, overall condition, I'd say this guy looks the best. He looks the fullest and the freshest on just on the front lat. But then when I
yeah,
went on the reel, his back poses, I think, were what let him down. Not even in terms of like condition, but like he hit a rear double and his back just didn't really open up. But
yeah,
if you look at that, if it was again, he's not like Liam's got the best lower body, the biggest lower body, and the leanest.
yeah,
This guy's probably got the freshest and the fullest look. But
yeah.
like you say, James had the kind of like the middle
Yeah.
balance of everything. So
Yeah,
ended up
like
winning.
yeah,
That
no,
was
I
close
agree.
though.
It was yeah, it was close, but it was a very good battle, and I was happy that obviously that was his first win. So next time he just needs to give me the whole prep, and
Yeah, just more time,
yeah, he
like
shouldn't
actually
he
getting
shouldn't even be
everything on there.
fighting. This is the thing. Yeah, he shouldn't even be fighting for a first place in novice. He should be easily winning every single novice class
Did
and
you
doing well in
did you
the
watch
open.
any of these classes?
I saw them backstage. So there was, I didn't see any of the Masters dudes. I don't think they were on till after. I thought they went through the normal bodybuilding after that. So I'm not sure if they
The
posted the
short
reels in
class
different
looked
order.
like a good class.
Yeah, mate, did you see I think it was the medium winner and the medium class or
Yeah,
whatever it was.
I did. Yeah,
Christ, that finished
I thought
oh,
it'd be close between him and Ryan for the overall. So this was the
yeah, I
short
thought it was.
bodybuilding. Fourth place, Ricky Stevens. Third place was Leon. Yeah, Leon Campbell, who looked really good. To be fair, again, all I think everyone in this class looked good. Was it only four? Were there more in this class? Do you know?
I'm not too sure, but
I thought this
yeah,
guy
we get
looked class. I was like, when he came second, I was like, who's won? And then I realized it was
me and him have got an agenda that I don't like this dude. Do you want to know
what?
why? He reported me apparently. I think this is what Sanaya told me. You know that gym that is near Sanaya's that doesn't allow videoing? He used to work there, and because like they were like you can't film. Apparently he sent, so he was the one who tried to ban Nathan, Stacy, for taking a fucking photo
Oh,
of him. Like because
really?
I'm pretty sure this is the dude that worked on the reception. And Sanaya was like, "Oh, it's Joe." So I messaged this guy being like, "Hey mate, it was me who took a photo of Nathan. Please don't ban him." Didn't even reply to me. So cheers, Joe. Thanks, mate.
All right.
Like
Still looks
trying to
good though,
ban one of my
mate. We've said
clients.
we're not doing this with any bias. All right. What do you think of him as a bodybuilder?
Oh God. Oh no. Cut that out. Fuck, we've ruined it.
He's good.
That's away from bodybuilding. Yeah, he looks good. He looks really good. Legs look
Really
class.
good.
Yeah.
I think he looks
Joe, mate,
really good from the front.
other than your ability to not ban my clients for taking
That
photos of me,
shape, like,
really good. Yeah,
mate,
really good shape.
I think from the front he looks great. From again, like, I don't think it's much, but if he was a little bit sharper from on the like the side and the rear shot, side leg and rear shots with lower body, especially like his shape's ridiculous. I think he'd
Mm,
also do well in classic.
mm.
But yeah, like if he was just a bit
Oh,
sharper to his lower
glutes.
body, and if he wasn't against Ryan, like
Look at those glutes, mate. Like they could
hey,
definitely be leaner, but like got like a set of glutes.
he's got a good amount of muscle. We love a good set of glutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Ryan obviously did the show a couple of weeks back, didn't he?
Yeah, he's just
Um,
collecting gold at this point, isn't he?
so yeah, that he did the Saxon Classic on the 7th of April, and yeah, he's like Nicole who's collecting swords that we spoke about. But yeah, like Joe looked really really good, but then you come up against Ryan again. This is what we speak about when it comes to bodybuilding. Like it's about who you're up against on the day. Like Joe Joe looked great, but you come up
Joe
against
is
someone like this, you
Joe
go,
is
oh
like
shit.
a PCA men like bodybuilding short winner. Like you see
Yeah,
him and
mate,
you're
by a mile. He'd win most PCA shows.
yeah, like you'd say, oh yeah, congrats on your win. Like that's probably what you'd say. But then you see this guy backstage and you'd be like, bro, did you not just compete a few weeks ago? Why are you not waiting till the universe? Fuck
It
off.
must be like it must be a bit disheartening when you see like someone who you know's already won an overall backstage in
Yeah,
your class. You're like, "Ah, great." But fair play
yeah,
to Ryan. Doesn't take anything away from it. He looked great.
yeah.
Then we go on to the tall class.
This
Again,
dude
looked pretty good standard.
yeah, this dude owns Woody's, you know, Woody, my client, Big Wood.
Yeah, yeah,
He owns the gym that he trains out of, I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
And I will say, mate, backstage, this guy was pumping up, and I literally was like, who the fuck's that? Like,
He looks like a monster. Yeah.
yeah, this reel does not do him justice.
No, but
He
you
is
can tell he looks
legitimately,
big. He's got that
no, man,
muscle maturity. Like he looks.
look ginormous.
Yeah,
Like you know how big Guy looked, you know, in his tracksuit, like when we saw him at the show, and he literally looked like he was about 400 pounds,
yeah.
like but lean. This guy literally looked like he
He
looked
does
like
look.
a giant out of Game of Thrones. Like
Yeah,
it was
that's
like
what I mean. He looks like a freak. Like he looks huge.
yeah, yeah.
This guy, okay, this guy came fourth. I was going to say, I don't think this guy beat him, did he? That guy came fourth. Luke. Matt Dicker came second.
I'm also gonna say to Matt. Matt came up to me and he was like, "Oh, Reese, I've known this guy for years. I bumped into him at the Fit Expo in 2022, and I think his girlfriend or wife or something had posing lessons with Sanaya. And I spoke to him for like 15, 20 minutes, and he said to me, he's like, "Oh, mate, I'm 17 kilos up for my last stage showing," and I was like, "Oh, that's good," or "You're fat," and he was like, "Yeah, it could be that. We'll see." And he was like, because I thought to myself, probably shouldn't have said that to somebody who's like an hour out from getting on stage. But it was like when someone says 17 kilos up from your last stage show, and you're a bit like,
Yeah,
mm,
you think how much of that is muscle, how much of it is body fat? To be fair, he's not in bad
looks
condition.
really good.
Like he could obviously be
No, no, no,
leaner, but he's not. You wouldn't be. He's not in bad nick. He looks really good.
no, definitely not. Yeah, he does look really good. So
But
yeah,
then
what a
he
Matt.
got
I think
beat
this first
by
showing
Aaron
this
Galvani.
dude.
This guy was good.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest and say, again, I didn't see the overall lineup. I almost think this guy looks better than Ryan, just
I,
from
don't-
a
I
shape
don't
standpoint.
wait till he turns around. We'll have a look. But I think
Yeah,
Ryan's very round and
so
bubbly.
compact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Ryan is really really good. I think when you probably put if we'll have a look if there's a reel, but if you put these next to each other, I do think it would be like yeah, it's Ryan. He looks great though. Like he's got a really
Yeah.
really nice physique, but I don't think he's quite as bubbly or quite as lean.
I will say I rate the side chest into another side chest, like a fake shot. He
Like
fake it's going into
his
a
glutes are
side shot.
in, like his glutes are in, but
The
Ryan's
one.
glutes are like fully striated pretty much. His
Yeah,
back
and lower
is
back.
yeah, his back's lagging a
Yeah,
little
back
bit.
hamstrings are really good. Like
Yeah,
they look proper cool. Like adductors,
he's really good.
but
They
yeah, he is very good. Isn't he? Like
they
that's
tagged
again
someone
another guy that's
else
like
on the
okay.
I think it was maybe on a just a photo of him. They tagged someone else. I went onto it and it was just like a guy like it looked like quite a young kid, maybe like 18 or something. And I was like, that is definitely not him. And then I found that his actual page is this one. But yeah, he looked very good. But I thought when I saw him,
Like
I'd seen that before. I saw Ryan. I was like, he's probably gonna win. He's probably won the overall. But then
yeah,
obviously he didn't. Um,
that's like
so did they
I
not?
remember once, mate, the PCA posted a photo and like that Reese, Kiffin, the natural dude, won an overall. And someone commented like at Reese fit, sick physique, bro. Looking
Yeah,
class. I'm like, that's not me, bro.
cheers, mate.
It's a difference.
So they only
Yeah,
had
cheers.
bodybuilding
Don't
short
be
and
doing that.
medium. They didn't have a tall class. They just had short and medium.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right then on to toned figure. Did you watch any of this?
Um. Well, this I recognized this girl. She said hi to me before. She was like, "Hi, Reese, you all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, you okay?" And I was thinking to myself, "Do I know this girl?" But I recognize her face. I'm not too
Harwood.
sure. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. She said hi to me when I like walked by, and I was like, "Oh, you're right." So yeah, I didn't watch any of the females, but I saw her backstage, and I said hello.
That
She
was
seemed nice.
toned figure. And then this was
Yeah.
athletic figure, second.
If they only posted
Uh,
one toned figure, I'm guessing that was probably the only female that was
maybe,
in the class.
yeah.
Yeah.
Athletic figure might have only been two. Um, so this was Terry. She ended up winning the overall, the figure overall. She looks really good.
Yeah, she does.
Good condition. And then we've got some interviews. Men's physique. Did you watch men's physique?
I did not know. The guy that won the overall had a very weird tan. Like I always say, like tan was probably like it was probably the worst tan out of everyone, which I'm surprised about because he looked class, but his tan could have been so many shades darker.
Yeah, it was this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get it fixed for the overall. Like he
Yeah, it
literally
just
just
needs to be
looks
darker.
like
Needs another layer.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he doesn't he might need even two. Like he doesn't even look like that's a light coat for
Yeah,
even
he
a
looks
first.
like he's just a tanned guy. Doesn't look like he's
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
tan.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks like he's just like been like ramping up the Milano tan and he's like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
don't even need a tan."
Looks good though.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Nice
looks
shape
decent.
for men's physique.
I definitely think again, I haven't watched the classes in detail, but I don't think the men's physique standard, like, we said last week, we were like, oh, men's physique's probably like the best
Yeah.
condition guys out of the show. I would probably say this one was definitely more bodybuilding orientated.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
He
I
looks
think the
good though,
bodybuilding where the
but I
men's
think
physique is probably a touch worse, like in
yeah.
comparison when it comes to overall standard.
I think if he was maybe a tiny bit leaner and like you say, just a bit darker tan wise, like you'd be like, what do you see the men's physique guy? Like he's
Yeah.
really, really good, but he's he's great. He's just a bit shy of being like fucking
Wow.
he was great, yeah. But good. Posing looks good. Looks pretty calm on stage. Like not over the top, like too out there with his posing, but also like he still looks like he's pretty confident. I like his shorts color as well.
Yeah, no, yeah, compliments. It would look really good if he was darker. Like
Yeah, they
the
complemented his skin tone pretty well and his physique pretty well. And then we had
oh mate, what a name. Nick Nash. What a name that is, Nick Nash.
Nick Nash.
Elite Nick
Did you
Nash.
see this had like loads of views because I think because of how he walks out, this guy.
Okay,
Like,
what?
walks out.
The first place dude.
Yeah, this guy.
Pon Press.
Pon
Oh,
Prasad. Pon Prasad Ragavan. Is it stuck on yours?
yeah, it's froze.
Basically, like if you see it, he just walks out like he's gonna like knock someone out. Like he
Yeah,
walks out quite aggressively. I mean, it
yeah,
sound, but it's like I think that's why it had a lot of views. Because when
yeah,
some like you get the odd one like PCA reel that's got like most of them will have like a few thousand, then you have one that's got like loads straight away.
yeah.
And I think it's just because of how they started it. But he looks good. Good shape. Again,
Yeah. He did the first timers one, I think a few weeks back, if I'm not mistaken. We said he looked pretty good.
did it, yeah. He's got really good midsection.
I think he did juniors, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure he did juniors. I don't know if again, like I don't even was there even a junior class? I don't think there was. No, there
No,
was actually.
no.
No,
Or
there was juniors. Yeah, there was juniors. There was two or three. But I think he did juniors a few weeks back. Again, I might be incorrect, but yeah, I'm pretty sure.
men's physique tall.
Mental.
Yeah, Jack Storer won. Again, like you say, like the standard. Was it last 2 weeks ago when it was like there was Dean and then that other guy that beat Dean and
Mate,
we were like,
there was that top five that was like the
yeah,
fifth dude was like probably
yeah, like shredded.
the overall here. Like
Yeah.
he would have been very, very close, you know. And which again, it's mad to think that like you could get fifth, and then like 2, 3 weeks later, you could have probably won an overall. Like
It just goes to
that
show
goes to show that. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
standard of
show
our
you turn up
goes
to
up.
like dictates where you place. Again, like don't be
Yeah,
disheartened if you place fifth at a show where the lineup was class, or you win a show
yeah.
where it wasn't great. Like you still were the same on the day. Like you were still as good as you could have been, or hopefully you were.
Unless you win. If you win, it doesn't matter. You're the best out of everyone. You're so
Yeah.
good.
No, but I do think people think like,
Yeah.
let's say they come fifth, they're like, oh, I'm give up bodybuilding. Like I'm obviously not very good. It's like you came fifth against four really good guys, and you might have beaten another five
However,
decent guys.
let's Finn at the BMBF when he was like on the edges of like a top four. He was like, "I'm stopping bodybuilding. This is
No,
for
I
me."
didn't say I'm stopping bodybuilding. I said I'm gonna pursue coaching. I'm better at that. That's what I said. And then I came second, and the guy that beat me won the overall. So I was like, maybe I'm not that bad.
Yeah. Then you were like, "Oh, the show goes on. I'm going to carry on."
And I shouldn't have. I should have stopped then. Um, right, wellness. Did you watch any of the wellness?
Nope. Have you watched any of the wellness? You watched any of the reels of it?
I've not watched any of the wellness now. I've not watched any of that. The only reels I've watched are Ryan's, the
Yeah.
guy that came. What was the guy called that we just went over? The guy that we said could have pushed Ryan. Aaron, his name was. I only watched those two, and then a couple of the classic guys. But I didn't really watch any of these reels.
No.
Although I
Um,
did see
I think
this because this is
yeah, Natalia.
Natalie
Yeah.
from Premier.
Yeah. Oh, no, oh,
Yeah,
I thought it was Natalia. Sorry.
I
No,
thought it
yeah,
was
no, Nat.
Natalia, and then I
Yeah,
went on to
I'm pretty sure I've called her Natalia like
yeah,
twice.
but look, her Instagram is Natalie Michaela. I thought her name was
Yeah.
Natalia. But yeah, she
Yeah.
looks really good. So
Yeah.
I remember when she spoke to us in Premier, and we were both like, I recognize her, but we don't know who it is. And then we realized
Yeah.
who it was.
Yeah. She's really nice. She's a nice girl. And
Yeah,
like she pretty much just like wins every show she does.
she's
She's
spot
she's
on for like PCA bikini, isn't she?
Yeah, no, yeah. She's like naturally like a very small, petite girl, like good shape,
More like
like everything just pops well. And like I'm pretty sure she's still natty. I'm not sure if I don't know if she competed naturally before. So she might not be anymore, but like she's one of those sort of girls where like again, she turns up on stage, like if you were to see her, you go, yeah, she's probably gonna win, or she's gonna do well.
good
So yeah,
condition.
back on stage, yeah, she looks really good.
That was junior bikini. Let me just scroll through, see if there's any like any notable mentions. Again, apologies if we don't cover somebody. If you want to be covered, please do let us know.
Yeah.
I
Don't
think
want to be covered. Also let us know because
yeah,
we
she
don't want to be
so Adrienne, is that how we'd pronounce that?
Adriano.
I think it's Adrienne.
Adriano.
I'm not sure, but
As
anyway,
like 99.
she went on to win the overall. She looks really good.
Yeah.
Quads are really good.
Yeah, she does to be
I
that
think as
99
well.
shot power mate on Pez.
You know, so she won the overall, and then Terry won the figure overall, and they both obviously. Well, Terry looked as an older individual. I know she didn't do masters, but she still looked older than the other girls that she was against. And obviously, this is over 35. Like,
Hey, that's ageism, bro. Are you
I know.
care?
Sorry, guys, can't say anything. But what I'm trying to get to is a positive, is that like just the actual muscle maturity that she has. Like, if you compare this reel to Natalie that
Yeah,
we just went on, which was a junior, like the
yeah,
muscle maturity is very different. The shape is similar and everything, but like you can just see the amount of years of training that Adrienne, hopefully I'm saying that right, has got in
yeah,
comparison. She looks really good.
yeah,
I think that's yeah, that's pretty much that in terms of like the main sort of the notable mentions. And
yeah.
then
Click
have
on
we got
the overall. Yeah, click on the overall reel, mate. You know the one 12.7K. You can just see them. So
yeah, we
yeah,
haven't got there isn't
overall,
I thought there'd be an overall comparison reel. That's what I was looking for.
they don't seem to post them all the time, which is a bit strange.
That would have
Because
been
like,
good to see Ryan
yeah,
against Aaron. And then also like the classic guys, because like the guy that won classic tall, Gary or Gaz
yeah,
must be, but he
yeah,
was really good. He'd have been like good in that. And then even the guy that won the short was decent, wasn't he?
yeah,
So yeah, the winners were or the overall winners were bodybuilding was Ryan Gomez or Gomes. My dog is my PT. That's
yeah,
his name. Men's physique, AD Man, bikini, Adrienne Cottrell, figure, Terry Barrett. If you
yeah,
want to see their Instagrams, then they did post it on. There was the photo that they usually post. That this is the one where I was saying, oh no, it was. Let me show you. Here, they might have changed it by now. yeah, look, they've tagged this account when it's actually AG Sports Therapy, but that's fucking
Mm.
mad. If he was bit sort of sharp through the midsection, that's like a really really good most muscular.
Yeah, crazy muscular.
So yeah, the four winners. The post that will be the thumbnail of the podcast is that one.
There they are.
There's the names.
Yeah.
Cool.
So to wrap up, mate, 3 minutes left. What are your opinions of the show? Well, you think it's a good standard? You thought
Yeah,
you're happy?
I think like we said last week, I think the shows are probably just getting better and better as the season progresses, which makes sense. Like especially as you get closer to the universe, like people will do later qualifiers, so they're not trying to stay in stage condition for too long. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think like you said, bodybuilding was probably the standout. Classic as well. Men's physique was good, probably not as good as it maybe has been. And then I think the bikini winner looked really good, and the figure winner, to be fair, they were both really good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Right, that's that, guys. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed. Disclaimer again: anyone doesn't like what we say, please let us know.
No,
Again,
in all seriousness though, like if you don't want to be on the podcast or you feel like we've offended anybody in any way, that is obviously not our intention. So just message us.
no.
Like just message the. That being said, the once you're in page has got like loads of message requests that I can't get to. For some reason, it just won't
Oh,
load.
all these accounts have been messaging
You've got
me, stop
loads.
messaging me. I don't want to be on the podcast, and we're like, hey guys, please message us.
Just let us know.
Do you vote?
Message us
Not the part.
directly. Don't message the because
We're like message. We're like, well, we'll get back to everybody. And meanwhile, loads of people are messages. We're
yeah,
like,
look, once you're in, if I go on to you won't really be able to see it.
Within a relationship.
yeah, that's me.
That was you.
And bodybuilding.
Yeah.
On the
Your voice is playing somewhere. But anyway, I've got like it says 20 plus and it just won't load. So if you have sent us a message on the Once You're In podcast page, I do apologize for not getting back to you. Message me directly or message Reese.
Yeah, cool. Right. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed. Please subscribe. We are on the quest for 1,000 subs. I think we're on 830 now, if I'm not mistaken. Let's double check while we're on. So yeah, 828. So please subscribe, guys, because these are going to be coming out weekly. The show reviews are continuing. Hopefully everyone has enjoyed. Story tags are always much appreciated. And yeah, that's another show review. See you later, guys. Bye bye.